Well, hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Automotive Insight. Today we have a 2011 Nissan Rogue, and this is the one that we put a blower motor in not too long ago. And when we were doing just a general inspection on it, we noticed that the radiator was leaking. So let's get to that. So our leak is actually right at the, it's cracked right there. And so we kind of got a little bit of fluid all over the place. So let's go ahead and get this radiator drained out. So right now we got our radiator cap off. This is going to be our drain. So we'll go ahead and get it out of the way and get this thing draining. So with our radiator draining, we'll go ahead and start working on getting this air duct off of it. I'm assuming there's supposed to be 3 here, but I only got 1.
I got 99 problems, but a clip ain't one. Hit me!
Now we'll get working on our upper radiator hose. It's just a spring clamp. Now we'll start working on the harness that kind of runs in the way. This is kind of odd. Ordinarily, they would run a harness that just goes to the radiator fans, but this has got some kind of whole body harness that goes around it. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of Christmas tree style clips into the fan shroud. So we'll go ahead and get them off. We'll go ahead and disconnect both of our cooling fans. They're just push pin type. Fan shroud is held on by 2 10mm bolts here, so we'll get those out. Now we'll get working on our overflow hose. It's just a small spring clamp. Now we'll get working on this lower radiator hose. So the way that these things come out, it's kind of interesting. I'll see if I can do it one-handed, but you basically pull these clips. And then that comes off. So both sides are like that. I'll do what I can to try to get a better shot for you. So you pull out either side and then pull that off. Now we can get our radiator out. No transcooler lines on this, so this whole thing ought to just come right up and out. So before you go in with your new one, make sure that your grommets stayed in place. Sometimes these things will stick to the bottom of the radiator, so make sure that both of those are in place, and we'll get to putting this new one in. You will need to transfer these over, though, from your old one. There's 2 tabs on the bottom of the shroud that fit into slots into the radiator. Make sure they're there. Good sign is when you're back in, if you try to do this number and it doesn't move anywhere, you're probably in. So all of our bolt holes are lined up, so we're good. We'll go ahead and get the 2 bolts back in it. Go ahead and get our harness hooked back up. I can't get you in there, but I'm going to hook the bottom radiator hose back up. We'll go ahead and get our overflow back on. And our upper radiator hose back on. So we got the car running right now. We're working on getting the air bled out. While we're doing that, we'll go ahead and stick our intake tube back on. Well, we got our coolant topped off. We got our air bled out of it. Just for the uninitiated, basically what you do is you want to get all the air bubbles out. We were using an overflow, a no spill funnel on it. You want no air coming out of that, and you want to have heat at idle. Once you get those two things, your air's out. You go ahead and I always take the overfill thing and stick it over in the reservoir until it's topped off, and put the radiator cap back on, and you're done. Anyway, this is a pretty easy job to do in the grand scheme of things. It's always nice whenever engineers take us, the technicians, into consideration with those little upper radiator clip things. So that was something I haven't seen, or if I have seen it, I don't recall seeing it. So that was new, and it was nice to not have to mess with transmission fluid levels afterwards, which is also nice. So parts and labor breakdown, we used a Denso radiator, and we used 2 gallons of coolant. We were at, I think, 240 in parts. Labor, it called for just shy of like an hour and a half. I think it was 1.3 or something like that. But anyway, it's really not that bad to do. It probably took us, even filming by myself, it probably took me an hour to do it. So it's really not that bad. You can do all this stuff from above the car. We didn't need to lift at all. It just makes it easier to drain the fluid out. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap this one up for today. Hopefully you earned a thumbs up from you. Let us know what you think down in the comment section. We have new content for you every single week, so consider subscribing to the channel. And with all that being said, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.